A person needs to rid themselves of the sadness by allowing that bitterness to create a lasting change. The question is, when is a good time to take this moment for bitterness? That's what we're going to explore now. If the sadness comes to you during times of prayer, it's a trick of, you guessed it, the Yetzer Hara. As prayer needs to be done with joy and a happy heart. Joy is not just sprinkles on our serving God. That is the chayes, is the energy that we're serving God with. And therefore, if it's like, ugh, last week I shouldn't have said a thing to that person, I'm so insensitive, I have to call them and apologize, and you're just thinking about that all during davening, no, it's a trick of the Yetzer Hara, stopping you from doing the mitzvah at hand, right, the mitzvah of the moment, which is praying with a joyful heart. But what if the thoughts of that is, come on, I'm doing business or mundane affairs, I'm doing laundry, okay? Actually, it's or I'm cooking dinner. Like, I'm just doing mundane things. I'm just answering my emails, It's trying to weaken you so that after feeling sad, you'll succumb to your desires. Because how is it weakening you? So, like, I think I'm just, making dinner, feeling bad about myself. Oh, I can't believe I said it to my husband. Oh, I'm such a horrible wife. Blah, blah, blah. I should really work on myself. And then what's going to happen? I'm weak. When I'm sad, I'm weak. That's what we saw in the principle, the two people wrestling. When I'm sad, I'm a mistake of weakness. And therefore, I'm not really in the mood to daven mincha now. And I'm not in the mood to be nice to my husband either. Like, it's actually going to make me repeat the sin. Why? Because when I'm sad, the Yetzer Hara, the animal souls is not the Yetzer Hara and the animal are synonymous, just using a different word here. The animal soul is going to be able to conquer the small city in thought, speech, and action. And so, sadness ultimately is a trap, even when it's coming to me when I'm in the middle of mundane affairs. So, when the Yetzer Hara calls and says, remember last week when? You say, it's not a good time. Don't call me, I'll call you. Okay? When the Yetzer Hara comes uninvited, trying to get us to be sad, we know exactly what's happening. We are on the case. So what exactly we're going to say to the Yetzer Hara, a quote from the Tanya, now is not a good time to have justified sadness. So rational. It's not even the right time to worry about serious transgressions, God forbid. This is not the time. I'm busy being in a place of joy with God. Like, that does not matter if I'm praying or if I'm doing mundane affairs. Either way, this is not the time. I'll call you. Genuine introspection requires specially scheduled sessions, an appropriate moment with a settled mind. Right? Not that anxiety and stress of I'm a bad person and blah, 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 and I can't concentrate because I'm such a bad person. No. A settled mind to reflect on the greatness of God against whom you have sinned, so that your heart will be genuinely broken with real remorse. Taking an honest moment like, wow, Hashem has given me everything in my life. God has given me all these blessings. My hands, my feet, my fingers, the fact that I know where my keys are, the food in my fridge, like the food in my freezer, all of it. Like, Hashem's just given me everything in my life, and beyond that, Hashem's giving everyone in the world what they need at this exact moment. And feeding the cows in the fields with their grass, like really just tripping out how awesome Hashem is. And how much good Hashem wants to give us. And like, wow, I hurt that relationship. I hurt God. Like, no, that's not what I want. And from that settled mind, we can have a genuine sadness that's going to lead to a more genuine connection. But like we said, when we do that in the middle of the day, it's just going to lead to sadness, which is going to lead to sin. Because that's what sadness does. It drags us down to our just base habits. So the best time, when's the moment that we're actually going to have this scheduled time for a settled mind, is before you go to bed. Immediately after having feelings of brokenheartedness, you should not dwell on that feeling, but completely wipe away any sadness from your heart and believe with perfect faith that God has erased your sin. Have faith in God. He's forgiven you. And that He is very forgiving, right? Don't think that your sin is bigger than God's forgiveness, right? Tell your sin how big God's forgiveness is. And this is the genuine joy of closeness to God, which comes after sadness, as mentioned above. So you're going to sleep, sweet, okay? You're going to sleep in a state of joy, a state of simcha. You're doing the tshuva. You're really thinking about Hashem. And it's a scheduled time. You know that you're having this meeting with God before bed, this meeting with yourself. And then you're actually trust that you are forgiven. It doesn't show piety to be like, oh, but I should rehash it. No, that's just trying to make me sad. The piety, the true closeness to God, comes from now being in this forgiven space of the joy, when you're in a fight with someone and when the issue gets forgiven, you're just like, like it feels so good to be reconnected with them. That's the joy that we're going to sleep with. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time to explore today's Tanya together.